how's it going? Matthew Bailey Media here, and welcome to another 2025 movie review, and that is, of course, for a movie that's come out on Netflix known simply as Plankton the Movie. Now, this is another installment similar to the Sandy Cheeks movie for the SpongeBob universe, but with this one, it's mostly centered around Plankton, and it's mainly to do with his relationship with his computer wife Karen, who we all know from the show, and we never know what actually happened. Like, how did these two actually get to be a thing? And it turns out this movie does do a good job at sort of explaining that origin of how Karen came to be, and again, without spoiling too much of the movie, basically the whole point of the plot of the whole point of the movie is that she gets so frustrated with Plankton for not being able to get the secret Krabby Patty formula, and at one point she gets so mad that she snaps and actually turns full on evil, and then Plankton has to team up with SpongeBob and a lot of the other characters to defeat Karen, and that's pretty much all I'm going to say without spoiling the movie. Now I will admit, this movie to me was actually better than the Sandy Cheeks movie, but it still was a movie that I thought could have done better. I mean, it wasn't a great film. I mean, it was an okay film. I mean, it was definitely better than the Sandy Cheeks movie, like I said. And that's mainly because it really didn't go up to the real world surface that much, like the first movie did, or like the Sandy Cheeks movie did. But this one, I will say, was definitely a little bit better and when it comes to the visuals, the storytelling. But again, I feel, to me, like, no offense to them making SpongeBob in 3D, but I feel like the original 2D drawn animation is the best kind of version for SpongeBob. I mean, we kind of saw that in the first two actual films that came out in 2015 and 2004, if I'm not mistaken. And now we did get some 3D in that second movie, Sponge Out of Water, in 2015, but it wasn't as bad. That one was a lot better than what we've been seeing in these last few movies from that were being posted on Netflix. Now we are getting another SpongeBob movie in theaters, though. This time it'll be in December, if I'm not mistaken. However, this one will have the 3D animation similar to the last one we got, which was Sponge on the Run, but that didn't really come out in theaters. It was released on digital, like straight to Amazon Prime, I think it was. And I saw that movie, but unfortunately the 3D animation just made it so weird. I feel like the 2D animation, especially when it's underwater, looks way better in 2D than it does in 3D. But aside from that, this movie definitely did a decent job with the storytelling, especially when it came to Plankton and especially Karen's origin story. And I feel like that was a lot better than what we got with the Sandy Cheeks movie, where her origin story was, to me, I feel like the whole adding that her family was part of a circus on land was, and specifically why she chose to study underwater sea creatures. But more specifically, her family being circus people, that was the one thing that I didn't quite understand. And it was also revealed that she was a flying squirrel somehow, and I'm like, how did that come into fruition? We never knew she was a flying squirrel, even during the 2015 movies. So she even looked like a regular squirrel. So it's pretty crazy how they threw that in there in that last movie. But with this movie, with Plankton, it does sort of explain how he came to know Karen and how he married her. And I will say, one thing that I wasn't too fond of was the fact that it was revealed that he only wanted to steal the Krabby Patty formula because he heard Krabs say to a random interviewer that these Krabby Patties would help take over the world, and that, to me, that doesn't make any sense, because in the original show they were actually classmates, you know, and that I think was a better story. So they should have. I feel like Krabs should have been more of a plot point in this whole film, but he really wasn't. But again, I still thought it was an okay film. Not a great film, but it was an okay film. So anyways, let me give you my rating of the film. So for my rating of Plankton the movie, like I said, it wasn't as good as I thought it would be. I mean, it's definitely better than the Sandy Cheeks movie, but I still think it had some work to do. So I will at least give the movie a 3 out of 5. Yep, 3 out of 5 is what I'm giving it. It's not a bad film. I just thought it could have had some work done to it. And let's hope that the other SpongeBob movie that's actually coming out in theaters, though, is better than this movie that was released on Netflix. So anyways, that's all for now, and I will see all of you guys in the next video.